This is how you lose 5 pounds of fat. This is 5 pounds of fat per month for the next 3 to 4 months. This is my 3-part framework that I've developed over the last 20 years as a professional trainer. I've literally seen thousands of transformations in my training business here in Seattle. I've performed over 30,000 one-on-one personal training sessions, and I would have to be a complete idiot not to see that there are patterns for success, patterns that will get you to lose a lot of fat, and patterns that will halt your progress. Part 1, the struggle. The thing that you really have to truly understand from the very start is this one simple fact. 90% of all dieters, people who start a program, people who start their diet, they fail, which means that there's a freaking 10% success rate when it comes to this stuff. The question is how do you become the 10%? It's when you understand this very simple concept. Now, once you understand this, you're literally going to have the keys to the kingdom. You're never going to have issues with understanding on how to lose fat. Again, it's just going to be something that you understand. This right here is your comfort zone. You've built your entire life within the zone of your comfort. Now listen, I understand. You have a hard life. If you have kids, you have work, you got a person at home, or you don't have a person at home, you got stress. You're not trying to add things to your life that aren't absolutely 100% necessary because you have issues. You got problems. I got problems. And so anything that you add on top of what you're currently going through is going to add more problems, and it's going to cause tension. So once you start a program, most people, they're like, man, I'm going to, finally change because I'm in so much freaking pain. I'm going to start working out. So I'm going to get the best clothes. I need to get workout clothes. Okay, now I need to figure out what I'm going to eat. What's my diet? All right, now I got to go to the grocery store, and now I got to get a whole plan. And now I got to, wake up at 5 a.m. or even 4 a.m. to get this started. And you got all these things that you got to do. And then you add all those things, and it increases tension because it's way outside of your comfort zone. And it's just like what we call the rubber band effect. You can pull on the rubber band and it creates a lot of tension, and you can hold on to it, but pretty soon you're going to have to let go. Boom. Okay? So you're going to be doing all these things, but it created so much tension that you went back into your comfort zone, and then you wrong yourself, you shame yourself. You're like, God, what is wrong with me? Why can't I just finally get a workout program or a diet program or something that works for me? And you feel like I'm the one to blame, and you're not. You're just going about it the wrong way. One time in my 20s, I was going to California, and I had this date. I was going in a month. So I worked out as hard as I could. I did as much cardio. I ate sawdust chicken breasts. I would literally sprinkle, to the gram of chicken on this little scale, and the sweet potatoes and all that. And it was so painful, but I was willing to do it. I lost 12 pounds of fat in 1 month. I looked great, by the way. But then when I came back the next month, I was at frickin' McDonald's slamming down a 20-piece chicken nugget with sweet and sour sauce, which I loved, but it's pretty much poison. And I gained it all back within 2 months. And I've seen this time and time and time again. So how do you make this a permanent solution as opposed to a temporary solution? You go outside of your comfort zone with a little baby tension. I'm going to add 20 grams of protein per day. All right. So that's going to create just a tiny little bit of tension. You do that for a week, you're kind of getting used to it now. You fit it into your schedule. You went to the store. Going to the grocery store causes tension. Going and preparing food causes tension, but it's just a little bit. And so pretty soon, after about a week or two, it becomes a part of your comfort zone now. Your comfort zone now is expanded. You're kind of used to it, okay? And once that happens, then you create one more little baby habit. All right, now I got this protein thing down. I see this with my clients all the time. Now let's really start hitting your workouts in a different way. All right, so you're going to add, instead of going 1 time per week, maybe go 3 times per week, okay? Oh, this is going to cause a little bit of tension. You got to get a babysitter. You got to leave work earlier. You got to get up earlier. Oh my gosh. But then you do after a week or 2 or 3 or whatever, and pretty soon you have a brand new comfort zone. And now it's just a part of who you are and what you do. And then the next one, you baby step it. After that, becomes a part of who you are. You baby step it. And now pretty soon your comfort zone's all the way out here, and you're working out like a beast. It's now a part of your habit system, and that's how you create the change. If you don't understand how to manipulate your own comfort zone and to really truly understand tension, because tension is required for change. You need it. Tension is required for growth. If you're not having a little bit of tension, you're not growing. But you want to do it in a way so your mind doesn't explode. This is part 1, understanding the struggle. If you want to lose fat and gain muscle, I have a free 30-day fat loss program. Click the link below or somewhere on the screen, and you'll get an actionable small baby step tip in a 30-day program. Part 2, the steps. Now, if you want to lose 20 to 25 pounds of fat or 15 pounds of fat, the thing that you need to understand is that you just need to get started. See, what a lot of people do is they try to go to step number 3. They try to, this is why 90% of the people fail, is that they try to get the perfect workout plan. You try to get the perfect clothes. You try to get the perfect diet plan. Should I do keto? Should I do plant-based diet? Should I do all this stuff? And then it's like overwhelm. And then you got to take care of your kids. You got to take care of your job. You're stressed out of your mind. And then pretty soon you have paralysis by analysis, and then you don't start. You see, a lot of people are trying to enter the game at level number 3. They think something's wrong with them. You're trying to create systems. You're trying to create the perfect workout, and it's like it's hurting your progress. And so what you do in this first step is what I've discovered is you just do the first 4 actions. You just do 4 actions imperfectly. So if you're not currently drinking water, have 1 glass of water. Boom, 1 action is done. Now you go to the gym, all right? So 30-minute workout, perfect, done. If you're not currently working out, and go to YouTube, do a 10-minute cardio on they have a million of them, right? Boom, done. All right, add a chicken breast. 1 chicken breast, perfect, done. Add, go to the store and get a Greek yogurt if you're not currently eating yogurt, perfect, done. You just need to do 4 actions. And that's all you're trying to do at this point is you're just trying to break the ice. And as soon as you break the ice, boom, you got started. The idea here is not to gain momentum, it's just to break the ice. Then you go to the next step, which is get a streak. Get a streak. So now what I want you to do is I want you to pick 1 thing physical, moving category, and then 1 thing from the food category, the fuel. So it could be, all right, I'm just gonna have like 1 Greek yogurt a day for the next 4 days. Perfect, that's your thing. I'm gonna have 1 extra glass of water. Remember, baby steps. Tiny little bit of tension. I'm gonna go out for a walk, because I typically don't walk. Perfect. If you're currently walking, you got to do something slightly outside of your comfort zone. Pick like a 10-minute cardio thing from YouTube. Boom. Remember, you're not trying to be perfect at this point. You're just trying to get a streak, and you're exercising your consistency muscles in a very, very, very tiny way. And as soon as you do 4 days in a row of this, perfect. Now you graduate to part 3, which is you got started. You got a streak. Now you get systems. Now it's time to imperfectly work on a system. Now you want to do is you want to get 4 days in a row per week for 4 weeks straight. Now you're going to do this imperfectly. You're going to screw up. You're going to think you're stupid at certain times, and you're going to celebrate at certain times. The idea here is if you're going to do it for 4 weeks in a row, 4 days per week, you have to understand how to do a system. Here's what I mean by that. If I'm going to have an extra chicken breast per day or an extra salad with protein per day, 4 days in a row, okay, great. I need to figure out a time on Sundays as my prep day. I'm gonna carve out 3 hours on that Sunday so I can make this happen consistently. Perfect. Another system that you can create is, all right, every single day after work, I already worked this out with my partner, the kids are already taken care of, all that kind of crap. I'm going to go to the gym, right? There's a gym down the street that I've been meaning to go to, got my little tour. Now I'm going to go there 4 days a week. And I'm gonna do something simple, something dumb. Get on 5 pieces of equipment, leave. That's not the point. The point is to create a consistent system with something that's related to food and something that's related to your workout. If you do this stupid system, you get started, you get a streak going, you work for 4 weeks imperfectly, you will on average lose 5 pounds of fat on average per month for the next at least 3 to 4 months for the average person. And you might be thinking, I've seen it work time and time and time again. You might be thinking, oh gosh, what is the idea? Remember, baby steps, which brings me to part 3 of this system. Now, there's this thing with the algorithm. If you press the subscribe button, or if you press the like, or if you even comment, you do all 3, it helps more people find this video. So if you're willing to help, do one of those 3. Then you get to part 3, which is the shift from who you used to be to this new person. You now have a new identity. Everything that we do in life is an action taken based on our belief system and our identity. And when you take small baby steps consistently, you're taking action. And action leads to internal change. I'm going to give you this quick analogy. If I was to offer you a cigarette and you're not a smoker, would you smoke that cigarette? Would you take that cigarette? Be like, hey, do you want a cigarette? If you're not a smoker, you'd be like, no thanks. Now, why is that? Because you're not a smoker. But if I offered a cigarette to you and you were a smoker and you hadn't smoked all day, you'd be like, heck yeah, I'll take that, and you're smoking cigarettes. Now, I used to smoke cigarettes. I've had a lot of different types of addictions, but I'm sober and I'm not a smoker. So if you offered it to me, I would say no. That's just not what I do. If you offered it to me about 10 years ago, I would be like, heck yeah. Especially if I was out having a few drinks. You know, I'm in my 20s. That's what I used to do. I used to have a random cig outside a bar. But now I don't do that anymore. I have kids. I have a powerful, amazing, high-functional body that I want to protect. It's a part of my identity. You see, motivation is something that we have to manufacture in the beginning. But as soon as something becomes our identity, it's just something that we do. Does that make sense? And a lot of the times people think that affirmations like, I'm great, I'm powerful, I'm strong. I do affirmations all the time. I do them every single day. They make me feel amazing. They get me in state. They get me excited. But real, true transformation happens when you start making decisions on eating good food, on refusing the cookies most of the time. I love cookies. And now you're going to the gym consistently. If you miss a gym day, then it feels uncomfortable because it's now a part of your identity. And remember, every single little baby actions that you take is taking you closer and closer and closer to the highest, truest expression of who you are. Somebody who exercises because it makes you feel amazing. Somebody who eats high vibration of fuel, high octane fuel, because it's you know that it's going to feed your body and your muscles, and it's going to give you a clarity and focus and power in life, which makes every single relationship better. That happens over time. And when you try to fit fat loss into this really, really, really short window, and you try to take on too much too soon, you're losing the game. This is the game of fat loss. And when you do these small, tiny baby actions, it feels like you're going slow in the beginning. But if you do this consistently, these tiny baby actions, you'll lose one of these every single freaking month. I had a coach one time, powerful coach. I went into the coaching program and I said, man, I just want to be able to do all this. I actually called him and I said, I really respect your coaching program and I think that's great, but this isn't going fast enough for me. I'm a high octane guy. I want to do a lot of things and my capacity is really, really, really big. Okay. I'm not like a regular person. My ego is a little inflated. And he said, Peter, go slow to go fast. He said, I relate to you. He says, but if you really, truly want to make a difference, if you really, really want to transform, then go slow to go fast. If you want to lose at least 15 to 20 pounds of fat and you're tired and you're frustrated and you know that you can't do this by yourself, there's nothing freaking wrong with you. Okay? Get a coach. So what I do is I work with clients. I've helped literally thousands of people transform, give you a workout program, a diet program, but most of all, the third pillar is accountability and support. That's the thing that makes your program come on fire. And if you like this video and you want more tips on fat loss and muscle gain, watch this video. You have a mission and you have a purpose, and I hope this helps.